Not a lot of things are certain about the future of Pokemon, but one thing is almost 100% gonna happen very soon, and that is a new trailer for the Pokémon Scarlet and Pokémon Violet DLC, The Hidden Treasure of Area Zero. With the Pokemon World Championships happening soon, we are sure to get something, and looking at the past Worlds trailers, we can kind of speculate a little bit. So hey, I'm Not So Ace Trainer, and what about the new trailer? Let's get into it. As I said, looking back at the two previous World Championship trailers, there is one thing that is common to both. They focus on the competitive aspect of Pokemon. And it makes sense, that's what the people watching the event care about the most. They showcase new moves, items, and sometimes even reveal some new Pokemon. This is what happened before the Sword and Shield release and before the Scarlet and Violet release, for example. This doesn't mean that we'll only get a trailer at Worlds, because looking at the past, both the Worlds trailers were actually released after an early August one, so we basically eat very well in August, at least traditionally. But this time things are a little bit different. Both these instances I mentioned were referring to new games, not really DLC, and we don't really have any indication on how things would be regarding a DLC since, well, there were no World Championships during the pandemic when Yellow Armor and Crown Tundra were released. Still, considering the focus on competitive, it does give us a hint at what could be on the way. First of all, like I mentioned, I think we're gonna get two trailers, or a trailer and a showcase. The first one would focus more on new Pokemon, new regional forms, new areas, the good stuff for the casual player. And the second one would focus more on battle stuff. For the regional forms, I'm looking at you, Yanma or Poochyena. One of you is gonna get the regional evolution, I think. And since Convergent lines were introduced in this game, I think we're gonna get a new one, and I would bet that Terrarium has some pretty cool stuff there. Cyrano probably has some weird Pokemon in that place, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's where we get some interesting new Pokemon like the Wiglet and Toadskull line were. So basically, regional ones on the Teal Mask and Convergent ones on the Indigo Disc. This trailer could also provide us with an actual date for at least the first part of the DLC. But the second trailer, the one focusing on competitive, has to bring something different. But what could it bring when we already have the game technically? Well, there's something missing about the battle mechanic in these games, there's something missing about the Terastal. You see, there was a constant in Pokemon battle mechanics up to this one, and while there's a lot of stuff changing in Pokemon, I don't see this specific thing changing. When we got Mega Evolution, only a few Pokemon could achieve that special form. When we got Z-moves, every single Pokemon had access to them, but some chosen ones had a special kind of Z-move. A signature Z-move with a pretty cool name like Light That Burns the Sky, Genesis Supernova, or Let's Snuggle Forever. When Dynamax was introduced in Gen 8, yeah, every Pokemon could Dynamax, but a few of them could Gigantamax, and they look different and have a special max move. I think you see where I'm going with this. We don't have anything like this for Terastal. Every single Pokemon can Terastalize the same way, which is pretty cool and pretty fair, but, well, my friends, life ain't fair, especially if you're not Charizard or Pikachu. That's why I believe the competitive trailer will bring us new forms for specific Terastalized Pokemon. And after a comment by Alex Summersby that I got on my last video where I tried to decode those strange symbols on the cover art for the games and the logo for the DLC, where Alex said that when he looks at the symbols on the right for the logo, he sees a mask and a crown, and to him, those are hinting at masked forms and crowned forms. And I think that might just be it might just be right. But the best part is that we likely already saw one of each of those forms, we just did not see them as such. And we saw them not only throughout our adventures, but also the trailers for our future adventures. Ogerpon is an easy one to guess. There's a Pokemon behind the mask, and the fearsome mask itself is related to crystals, maybe even the Area Zero ones, although there's a chance that they could be different. Still, the crystals being there make me think that it is related to the game's mechanic, and so, very likely, considering there's nothing else like this in the game, to something different within that same mechanic. So, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Ogerpon is the Pokemon that will be the mascot for new masked forms that will show up in the Teal Mask and be achievable by some Pokemon only, maybe giving them a new type or access to a new specific move. And the other one we already saw, or at least saw a drawing of, was Terrapago's crowned form, something we see in the Scarlet and Violet books. The first time we saw Terrapagos, when the mysterious turtle was finally revealed to us, it was obvious that it was very different from what we were expecting, considering the grandiose thing depicted in Heath's work. But don't give up hope yet, since it might still be something we will see, although maybe not be able to use, like it happened with Eternamax Eternatus. It just looks like such a huge, powerful thing that I can't see it being a Pokemon that they just let us have fun with. What these mechanics will do for sure, I can't really say, but I am pretty convinced that at least one of them has to be part of the trailer for Worlds, or else what else could they show us, really? Maybe they reveal something that just makes it easier to get Terra Shards, for example, just like they added the Max Soup with the Max Mushrooms and Max Honey in the Isle of Armor, making the process of building a competitive team for VGC even easier than it has become in the last few years. Or maybe they even reveal the typings of some of the key Pokemon from the DLC, since at some point in time they will also be legal there. But whatever the case, they have to keep the future in mind, considering that we'll likely be playing the Scarlet and Violet format for at least another year, and so adding a new extra to the terrestrial phenomenon will surely make the following year a lot more interesting by pairing that with the new Pokemon, new regional forms, and even new convergent lines we'll most likely be getting. And that is all I have for you today. There is a new trailer, most likely trailers, on the way, and we'll surely get some information and, in a perfect world, a new date for something. But what about you? What do you think we'll see on the next trailer? Let me know in the comments down below. And now, like the video if you like it, dislike if you don't, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Pokemon content, and also ring the bell so you know when the next video is out. You can follow me on social media and Twitch, stream there Wednesday to Sunday, not Saturday, or join our Discord. All the links are in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.